So hey Nick, what brings you in today?
Hi, how's it going? So, no, we've met before.
Mhm.
And I suffered a torn ACL last season.
Yeah.
So, just coming back from that first season back, I did all my rehab throughout the off season.
Mhm.
Did all my rehab went well. Everything went smooth.
Good.
Knees back,
It's good to hear.
100%, feeling pretty good.
Good to hear.
So, we're 2 weeks into our preseason practice,
Right.
and so practices, and I'm a wide receiver and punt returner.
Yeah.
So everything about being a receiver is going great.
Good.
Not having any issues with receiving.
Good.
However, punt returns, I've found myself, muffing punts, just calling fair catches when they don't need to be called.
Okay.
Just ultimately not being a very good punt returner.
Okay.
And so my injury happened during a punt return, so
Right.
I'm a little concerned that might have a little bit to do with what's causing my kind of lack of performance.
Okay. So your rehab process went well, you would say?
Yeah, I'd say so. Pretty positive process for the rehab. I got along really well with my physical therapist.
Mhm.
We did a lot of good exercises. Got the knee back, feeling really good. So
Good deal. So how did you feel 2 weeks prior to camp starting? Like at the start of camp, how did you feel, going into the workouts?
I was excited. Pretty anxious. I'd say just excited to get back on the field, get back with the teammates. And just a little bit anxious though. I'm scared about re-injuring my knee, so
Yeah.
that's always going to be in the back of my mind. I feel
Right.
like, and yeah. Other than that, I felt pretty good though.
Okay. So you use the word anxious a lot, when you're describing how you felt coming into camp. How do you feel now? Do you still feel 2 weeks in? Do you still feel anxious about when you field punts? Or?
Yeah, only when I field punts though.
Okay.
If I'm running routes, catching balls, I don't feel very anxious at all. I feel great.
Yeah.
Everything's just going naturally to me. It's just the punt returns seem to be causing this anxious feeling, and I can't stand it.
What in a perfect world? What would a non-anxious punt return look like for you?
Just ahead, immediately see the ball, know where its trajectory, know where it's going, make a nice clean catch, look up, and then try to just all smooth, all happen very smooth, like not too much of a thought process involved, and then just kind of, make a play for my team.
Okay. And what is it? What does the punt return look like for you now?
Right now, it's ugly. It could be better. I see the ball, but I'll find the ball in the air. However, whenever I find the ball in the air, I get really scared that someone's going to come and tackle me, run into my knee, something like that. And this is causing me, to look down and look back up, which
that's not good for
coaches. Coaches, tell us not to do that at all. And then that leads to me, muffing a punt or. Sometimes I found myself, like I said before, calling a fair catch when there's no one within 15 yards of me, and I could easily at least get like a 5 to 10 yard gain, anything to help the team. So yeah, just things like that, just making just little mistakes like that, which are little in practice, but they could be very costly in a big game.
Right, exactly. Have you guys started any contact? Like, have you had any, tackling drills or anything that would test your knee's ability?
Yeah, we've had a few tackling drills. Normally not during special teams. We normally just kind of have the guys run past me or just touch me. Nothing during punt returns. But we have just some tackling drills just to improve everyone's tackling throughout the course of practice.
Okay, and during those tackling drills, there's no anxiety whatsoever.
No, a little bit, but nothing like punt returns. There's always going to be a little bit of anxiety. Just trying to test out the knee, make sure it's all right. But nothing like the punt returns though.
Okay.
So yeah, I'd say a little bit, but nothing too serious. Nothing affecting my play.
Okay, so in general, we would agree that punt return is causing you the most anxiety, and it's not wide receiver position or any contact with any. It's just the punt return itself.
Yes, I would say so.
So when the ball is in the air and it's coming to you in practice, and you got guys coming at you, what's going through your mind as you're looking up?
Well, I'm just thinking, I got to catch this, but then I start getting worried about other guys coming in. And my injury happened. When my injury happened, a guy was running to make a tackle on me, and he just tripped on the turf and fell right into my knee, and just blew out the knee. So Yeah, that's always in the back of my head is like what's going on. Like I keep wanting to look down, but even though I know I shouldn't.
Yeah.
So that's I always want to know what's happening with the people around me,
Mhm.
and that's causing me to lose my focus off the ball and not focus on like the task at hand of catching the ball.
Okay. So it sounds like you lose a little focus when the ball's in the air. What do you do when you catch it? What does that look like?
When I catch it, that's great. When I secure the ball, look down, make sure I've got my blockers ahead of me, make sure everything's looking good. Try to read quickly, see if I have any lanes, and then just kind of make any defenders miss, make a play for the team. Try to return the ball as far as I can each and every play. So once the ball's in my hand, it's not too much of an issue. I feel pretty good on my feet. I feel agile, and knee feels good. So nothing wrong there.
So you would say most of your anxiety comes from just the fact of not knowing what's going on around you whenever you're about to catch the ball.
I'd say so. Yeah, it's just the fact that my eyes aren't on like the defenders around me, aren't on the other players. So just the fact that I'm kind of blind to what's going on the field.
Has coach said anything to you about your, I guess we'll call it your anxiety, but when the ball's in the air, does he see anything that he's told you?
No, he hasn't said a whole lot. He just says just focus on the ball, take your time, focus on the ball, just try to relax. But I don't know if I can I don't really know how to relax whenever something like that's going on. So that's an issue. And then I just continue to make mistake after mistake, and I can tell he's obviously getting very frustrated with me because last year I hardly made any mistakes when it came to punt returns. So.
Are your teammates helping you out with punt returns? Do they know kind of how you're feeling when the ball's in the air? So are they kind of trying to look out for you, say, "Hey, watch out," or you got?
No, I haven't really told them about how I'm feeling when the ball's in the air. So no, they're not really. They try to help me out just because we have like a set process we go through where everyone wants to give them a heads up, but no, they don't really know too much about my anxiety about something like that.
Okay. I think based on what we've discussed so far, some effective skills that you could use, especially when the ball is in the air, because that seems to be just the point of focus, is to do some deep breathing, and some keywords to just refocus yourself when you start to think, oh, I wonder who's around me. Just a word that you could use to focus on just catching the ball and not worrying about what's going on around you until you catch the ball. Do you think those two options sound like something you'd be interested in?
They sound. They definitely sound interesting. I might be might be a good way for me to calm down and just realize that what happened was just like a freak accident, and that's pretty rare for that to happen. And I know that too. That's the frustrating part.
Yeah, I understand.
Can't get it through and relax.
Mm-hmm. What have you had any experience with deep breathing and keywords before?
No experience really. I've taken some what I think of deep breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth, but not just. That's just kind of control my breathing when I get winded. But other than that, no.
Well, that's basically the principle of deep breathing. You're supposed to breathe from your stomach and then up through your nose and out through your mouth. I think that it's a skill we can definitely build on throughout our sessions when we continue to come. The keywords is basically a word you could say to yourself to shift your frame of thought back to the task at hand. So, for example, if the ball is in the air and you start to think, I wonder who's around me, you could just say focus on the ball. And that means you need to refocus back on the ball and not worry about what's going on around you. Because like we said before, it was a freak accident, things happen, and you said your teammates, they try to help you out with the set plays and everything. So as long as they're doing their job, you got to be doing your job. And saying those keywords is definitely a way to help you refocus, to stay focused on what your task is at hand.
Okay, that sounds really interesting. I'd like to, definitely like to try that out.
During your next practice, whenever you're out there for punt return, definitely try those things out. See how they feel to you. Maybe whenever you get home at night, write down, maybe focus on the ball wasn't a good keyword. Write down what you thought was a good word or a word that you thought of to refocus, so you have it written down and we can talk about it. Write down how you felt, when you took the deep breaths and when you, use the keywords to focus on the ball. Is that
okay? So do you want me to keep kind of a journal?
Yeah, either a journal. You can call it a journal. Just write down, your thoughts on the process, how it's going, using the keywords and using the deep breathing in practice. Because those are skills that are definitely transfer over into game situations. So
Okay.
it's very, very applicable.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. I'm
Alright.
definitely trying to make an effort to do that.
All right, good deal. Well, is there anything else that you would like to discuss in our meeting today?
No, I think that's it. I'm excited. I'm excited to get back out on the field. Hopefully, try to get back to my old form, fielding punts really well. I'm excited for the season.
Yeah, we're excited for you to be back this season. Expecting big things out of you, man.
Oh, thank you.
All right, well, like I said, try those keywords and the deep breathing and write down how it makes you feel, and we'll talk about it at our next session, all right?
Sounds great. Thank
All
you very
right,
much.
thanks for coming in, man.
Take care.
You too.